Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April the 14th, 2021, and we are going to be starting our geometry units on Wednesday, so it's very important that you watch the video each day before you complete the lessons. You may want to have paper and pencil to take notes because today we're going to be talking about polygons and we're going to learn how to classify them, so you will need paper and pencil. So today we're going to be thinking about what is a polygon. What gives us that indication that that shape is a polygon? So it is important to remember that a polygon is a closed shape made up of line segments. So it's closed. There's no openings in a polygon. Each line segment is a side of the polygon. So line segments means that there's going to actually be lines that are connected together because it's a closed shape to create a polygon. Name some shapes you know, and then what are some important characteristics of each shape? So let's think about the ones that are really common to us, like a square. We know that a square has 4 equal sides, that all sides in a square are equal. We also know about a triangle, and a triangle has 3 sides. Sometimes they're all equal, sometimes they're not. And those are called different kinds of triangles, and we'll talk a little bit about those later on. There's also a hexagon that we talked about when we were doing perimeter this week. And a hexagon is a shape with 6 sides, or a polygon with 6 sides. On your paper, I would like for you to draw a shape to solve each of the riddles that I'm going to be giving you. So I'm going to give you some riddles, and you're going to draw a shape on your paper to solve each riddle. So here is the first and second riddle. The first riddle says, I have 3 sides and 3 vertices. 2 of my sides are the same length. So I want you on your paper to draw a shape that suits this riddle. I want you to pause your video, draw that shape. All right, for the second riddle, you're going to draw a shape that has 4 sides. None of my sides is the same length as any other. So now you are going to draw a polygon that is 4 sides, but none of the sides is the same length. So on your paper, draw me a shape that has 4 sides where no side lengths are the same. Go ahead and pause your video and take the time to draw that on the paper based on the riddle. All right, so our very first riddle said that I was a 3-sided shape with 2 sides that were the same. So we know that a triangle, based on what we reviewed about a triangle, that it has 3 sides. So I know that my shape is going to be a triangle, and 2 sides are going to be the same. So I'm going to draw these 2 sides as close as possible. Remember, I'm not perfect, so it's not going to be perfect. And then my bottom section is going to be a little bit smaller in size. So I have 2 sides that are exactly the same, and then I have one side that is not as long as the other 2. So a triangle would have been drawn for the first riddle. Now, the second riddle says that it is a shape with 4 sides, but no sides are the same. So I've got to make sure that my polygon is a 4-sided shape where no side lengths are the same. So it has to have 4 sides. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 sides. And I also know that they're not going to be the same length, but I still have a 4-sided shape. So my polygon is closed, except for that little part right there. Let me get it closed. Now I have a polygon where no sides are the same. This side is shorter than all the other sides. This side is a little bit shorter, so no sides are the same length. So this would satisfy that riddle. Hopefully, some of your pictures matched that riddle. Now, yours may have looked a little different than mine, but as long as it satisfies the riddle itself, saying that no sides are the same, then you should be fine as long as it is a polygon. And remember, a polygon is a shape that is closed that has line segments for the sides. Now, the next thing that I want you to think about is, what is a vertex? So a vertex is the point at which two sides meet. So if we're thinking about that three-sided shape, that triangle, we saw that the 2 points, or the 2 lines, go together to a point at the top. We saw that there were 2 points at the bottom, or 2 lines at the bottom came together into a point on each side. So a vertex is the point where 2 line segments meet, or 2 sides meet. And you can see that on this picture here. You can see the vertex is pointing toward where this line and this line comes together. Now, this is one vertex. Here's the other. So you can see that this line and this line meet at this point here. So there's a vertex, and here is also a vertex. And when we have plural, we call those vertices. So in this particular polygon, which is considered a triangle, we have 3 sides and 3 vertices. 3 sides and 3 vertices. And here is a great idea. You need to take notes on this next part. So what I want you to do, if you've not taken notes so far, you probably should have already written down the definition for a polygon and a vertex. The next thing that you're going to need to take notes on so that you can refer back to is polygon names and the number of sides they have. So we're going to just review some of the shapes that we're going to be going over in 3rd grade. And one of those was a triangle. Now, we've already talked a little bit about a triangle. We know it has 3 sides and 3 vertices. The next shape that we're going to talk about is a quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. The word quad itself means 4. Now, let's go back quickly to triangle. When we hear the word tri, that means 3. So a quadrilateral is going to have 4 sides and 4 vertices. The next shape that we're going to talk about is a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides and 5 vertices. Now, there is a famous building that is part of the United States that we call the Pentagon. Guess what shape it's in? If you said Pentagon, you're right. So that's where it got its name from, I believe. The next shape is a hexagon. Now, we talked about this one in class. We know that it's 6 sides and 6 vertices. An octagon has 8 sides and 8 vertices. An decagon has 10 sides and 10 vertices. Now, deca means 10. So all of these prefixes on these words are telling us how many sides they are. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about polygons and their names and the number of sides and vertices that they have. Next, we're going to talk about how we can describe the shape of a polygon. So the very first one is called convex polygons. And what happens in a convex polygon is that all diagonals are inside. So there's no outside diagonal in a convex polygon. These polygons are a concave polygons because they have at least one or maybe more diagonals on the outside of the shape. so they are called concave. And then if you look at the ones on the right, these are not polygons. Now, who can remember what we said the requirements of a polygon are? Oh, I'm thinking I'm hearing, or I'm hoping I'm hearing you all say that they have to be a closed shape. The first two shapes that we see here are not closed. They have openings, so they're not a closed shape. So they're not going to be classified as a polygon. But what about this one? What do you think? Now remember, we said it had to be a closed shape, but it's also has to be made of line segments. You notice that this is not a line segment. A line segment is going to be a straight line. So look at the convex and the concave polygons. Every one of them has straight lines that connect at a vertices. And this one does not. So therefore it is not a polygon. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember that I will be available if you need any help. I hope that you took notes. If you didn't, I would highly recommend that you go back and take those notes. And then I want you to comment on the lesson work, whether you or not you liked my Harry Potter theme for today's lesson. Our very first lesson on geometry. I hope everybody has an awesome day. See you soon.